So last time in one of our videos about prison, I mentioned this guy that we called Mr. Glutney.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like severely disturbed by the fact that he smushed his shit
Yeah.
into the shower drain.
I don't understand who does that.
Who does do that? Mr. Glutney, that's who. Now, Mr. Glutney obviously is a nickname I gave him. It's a chicken hawk, damn it. For those of you that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, in one of our videos, he was like confused about chicken hawks. Now he found a chicken hawk. Told you it was real, but anyway. Mr. Gluttony, dude, he was one of those characters that you meet in prison, like, and you wonder, how did he survive that long in prison? It's not that he was disrespectful. He was actually a really...
But he sucked.
Genial guy, but yeah, he's not the guy. He was too nerdy, too nebbish, too strange, and he stank like fucking shit.
Man,
and all those things will get you killed in prison.
It sounds like you're describing me.
But I mean, yeah, kind of.
All right.
But anyway, what I'm saying is this guy shouldn't have survived in prison.
Uh-huh.
He just should not have, but he did, and that's good because I don't want to see anybody hurt. But the point is, he was a strange cat. Now, I got along with him to a certain degree because, you know, that's what I try to do in prison. Just be considerate of everybody and shit. So I wouldn't say I got along. I didn't hang out with the fucking guy, but I got along. And I was okay with him being around, except for the stink part. That sucked. And but he was grating on you, you know? Like, you couldn't be around him for long because you're like, man, this guy...
He's not good.
He's not good. But so many stories ended up cropping up because of Mr. Glutney, and I'm going to tell you one of them. And first I got to set it up. In prison, there's a lot of frustrated people, you know, and by that I mean sexually frustrated. You know, you can't get any ass in there. I mean, you can, but it's probably not the type of ass you want. And if you do want that type of ass, one, you wanted it before, or two, you've become so desperate that you're willing to settle for that kind of ass, you know. It's just rare to get ass, you know. You can maybe find the occasional prison guard that'll, you know, open up the old legs, but those are rare, far and few and in between. And you got to be a pretty boy with some smooth ass game to get that to happen. So ass, it's rare is what I'm getting at here. So what people do is...
That's the title of this video.
Ass is rare. Rare as an albino. But anyway, yeah, fucking ass is so rare that what you got to do is you got to beat the old meat, you know? And this is a fucking luxury if you get to do that because privacy, that's right, privacy is so fucking rare in prison. So you got to kind of time it right, man, or you got to reserve your space, you know, in the shower, and you can do that. We'll talk about the shower masturbation thing in another video because that's weird all of its own. But anyway, if you do get some time in the shower, if you manage to reserve that little spot for yourself, you know, you usually put up an old picture that you buy and you know, paint the walls,
Literally,
and you're done.
Yeah.
Now, I happen to be my last 3 years in prison, or actually I should say my last 2 years in prison, I was in a faith dorm, you know, because I was exploring that side of myself.
So there's like constant masturbation?
No. Masturbation is frowned upon. Now, you know that
I thought it was going to go the other way around.
Well, there's some people in there that are like, you know that they really want to, but they're trying to keep up the guise of, you know, oh man, if I do, they're going to know that I'm some fucking weirdo.
They become pigeons?
Yeah, become pigeons. But I went in there to go explore my faith. I went in there for the right reasons, in other words. But that doesn't mean I'm not human. And I'm not one, you know, I'm not one to bullshit. So when I had the need to release the seed
for speed,
I had
a better one.
Yep, way better than the speed. Anyway, when I had the need to release the seed, I would just fucking do it, you know. And if anything, I had a better. Nah, I wouldn't fucking do it out in the open. I'd go in the shower and do it, you know. But since this was a faith dorm, it was frowned upon, you know. So I would do it since I cleaned at night. I would just do it at night after I would get my shower after I cleaned and shit. So I'll just do it then. Nobody's gonna bother me, you know. And it was generally understood that that was going on there, you know. Oh look,
because you're a loud masturbator.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know why it makes that sound.
But yeah, man, it was generally understood, you know. And then there was people in there that did it, and they followed the prison etiquette.
I'm a little worried right now because you've gone into the etiquette of whacking it.
I haven't, but go ahead.
You're whacking tails, but you also set up gluttony.
Yeah, I have to explain all this to get to the gluttony section.
Ooh.
What I'm saying is, if you wanted to jack off, you had to follow prison etiquette and rules to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you didn't do it in your fucking bunk. You didn't do it somewhere where you were seen. And if you did, you would get beat up or you would get kicked out of the dorm or some bullshit, right? So anyway, understanding all that, you'd expect people that did want to do, you know, occasionally let out some steam to go do it in the shower. Well, one fucking day, this fucking dude named the Cat, which would hang out with me, and he was Gluttony's neighbor, by the way. He come up to me and he's like, dude, I think Gluttony's masturbating at night. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because Glutney was kind of like, I wouldn't say he was a religious guy, like a Bible thumper guy, but he was like verging on that. And he was real fucking anal about shit. To the point where you couldn't even imagine the guy masturbating. Not because you thought he was a stand-up guy, but because you just couldn't. Your mind could not wrap around the idea of it. Much more the physics. How does he even reach his wang? But anyway, because he was a big guy. But anyway, I'm like, what? No way. He's not fucking jacking off. And he's like, dude, you just got to see it at night. So I, like as aforementioned, I cleaned at night, right? So I said, you know, I would go around mopping in the dorm and shit. And this night I waited pretty fucking late. And the Cat gave me his fucking signal. Those little fucking ears and shit.
I was going to say, which is a loud...
Yeah, worst signal ever. Woke everybody up.
Yep.
Yeah, but the Cat
Instead, it was ears, apparently.
Yeah, the Cat gives me his fucking signal. And I'm like, okay, it's time. So I bullshit my way over there, you know, mopping. Now in prison, what you see, you don't see. Because if you see it and you acknowledge it, then you're asking for trouble, you know? Eyes will kill you in prison. So, really what I was aiming to do was verify, and then that's it. What are you going to do? Nothing, right? So, I'm mopping, and all I see is Glutney covered in this thin, sheer sheet that they give us in prison, covered from head to foot, and it's, you know, it's stretched out and taut over his massive corpulence.
Bodice?
Yeah, and he's just like... And I'm like, well, it just looks like he's covered, you know? I mean, it's weird because it's fucking hot in prison during the summer, but, I mean, yeah, some people cover themselves. It's weird. It looks weird, but it's, you know, he's big, so I guess. And I make nothing of it, right?
Excuse, he's big.
So the Cat comes up to me and he's like, dude, did you see him? He was fucking jacking off again. And he's all pissed, you know, he doesn't, I don't want to see that shit. I'll kick his fucking ass. And then I'm like, I didn't see shit, dude. He was just covered up. And he's like, oh man, no. And so anyway, it happens again, and the Cat, you know, a few nights later, the Cat tells me to go look. So I do my little bullshit move again, and I'm over there mopping, and it wasn't good. Gluttony was so big that this sheet barely covered him. Like, just in general, it barely covered him. So stretched taut over his body.
It was like see-through?
Yeah, he was like fucking neglecting the fucking rules of physics by doing this, right? So yes, one, it was see-through, and in the right light, you could see movement.
Oh no.
You know, because the shadows would shift on the sheet, and you couldn't see a shadow of him under it because he was so big that it covered every space underneath it. But as I go to the other side of his bunk as I'm mopping, oh man, the movement continues, right? And his sheet shoots up.
Oh no!
From where he had tucked it underneath his like ass region, and oh man, he was whacking it.
Yep.
It was not good. Look, I'm not gonna say the man had a micropene.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. He had a micropene, but somehow I saw the micropene.
How did it work?
He was just kind of like, oh man, this is
like
gross.
Tweezing?
No, he was kind of doing like a cupping finger movement.
What?
Yeah, like a you know, like pinching into.
Oh no.
Cupping finger movement. Very vigorously.
Like this?
Yes. Oh god, don't do. Oh. Ooh.
I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty good about my ween now.
Yeah, it was it doesn't even matter what the ween size was. It matters that my fucking eyes vidied that shit.
Yeah, but you gotta admit the ween detail is pretty disturbing.
Oh, it's fucking disturbing.
This?
Yes. It was not
It's
good.
like kneading.
And then all I could think of was, I don't ever want to shake this guy's hand. Now,
No.
everybody in there, I'm sure, masturbated a million times
Yeah.
somewhere along their lifetime.
But it's gluttony.
But it's gluttony, dude. This is a guy who stank so bad that one time he was taking a piss, like, you know, in the urinal.
Yeah.
And a guard came in to count, and, you know, he was taking a piss so he could stay at the urinal instead of going back to his bunk. A guard come in to count, and he thought that the guy that was taking a shit was emitting the smell, and it wasn't the guy taking a shit. Because if you've seen one of our previous videos with a shit situation, you have to flush right away.
Yeah.
So smell is very rare. But it was not shit. It was Glutney's wang that stunk so fucking bad.
Yeah. It smelled like shit.
Dude, that movement. Oh, God. Underneath the sheets.
This.
Yeah, oh, dude, don't. Anyway.
Hold on. That's not good.
It's not good. This guy was so fucking weird, dude. But anyway, we'll talk more about Gluttony and his weird escapades and just general strangeness in another Gluttony video. This has been us talking about prison and the weird shit that goes on there. Until then, this is Ahab and the Goon Tick. We're out. Hit like, share, subscribe, hit the notifications.
Make sure to knead that like button.
Need your micro-peen button.
Ooh. Why is there a button from...
It's what it was, dude. It was a flesh button.
Would you want to push it?
Oh, no. I didn't even want to uppercut. I just wanted to not be.
In general.
Ugh.
Anyway.
We're out.